You're like, wait, Michelle, I thought I clicked on your meal prep video. What are we doing in your office? Don't worry, you did click on a meal prep video and we are going to be cooking. But I did want to try something a little different this week. As you may know, I work full-time as a product designer, 9 to 5, and if you're not sure what a product designer means, here's the official definition. A product designer is someone who uses design thinking and user-centered strategies to solve problems, create useful, intuitive experiences, whether that's digital apps, physical products, or services. So why am I telling you this? I think design thinking applies to everything. That's why I love it. At its core, it's just about understanding the person who's experiencing the problem, really empathizing with them, coming up with possible solutions, testing those ideas, and then refining them based on what works and what doesn't. So if you're still confused about how this is related to meal prep, stay with me. Over the past few months, I realized this is how I approach nutrition. This is how I approach meal planning. I'm constantly iterating, testing what works for me and my family. I'm refining that based on systems that are working or not working, how chaotic or calm the week, is going to be. Always adjusting and trying to solve the problem of what are we going to eat. Today, I thought I'd try something a little bit different, and I want to walk through this week's meal prep with design thinking in mind. So I've gathered a bunch of challenges and questions that I have received since I started posting my meal prep videos over the past few months from those of you who have watched them and who have struggled with meal prepping or meal planning or just healthy eating in general. And I'm going to be taking each week's video to focus on one of those problems so that we can dig in, break it down, and see how that week's meal prep is my response to that problem. Kind of like a case study, but for food. Let me know in the comments if you find this helpful. If not, we will pivot. I understand this is just an experiment, very similar to any design process. Before we dive in, I also want to quickly mention that I've been working on a monthly meal plan that will be launching on June 14th, which I am so excited to finally share with you all. Now, if you want a sneak peek or a sample of the plan, just comment below plan and I will send one your way. Also join the waitlist via the link in the description below to be the first to know when it officially launches, as well as receive a special discount. So one of the most common things that I hear is, I just don't know where to start. I get it. We see these beautifully aesthetic, laid out meal prep videos online and just feel like everything has to be perfect. Labeled containers, ingredients prepped, everything is spotless. I don't know about you, but that's not real life, right? And honestly, I don't usually show the messy parts of mine either. The crying toddlers, the dishes in the sink, the constant spills from said toddlers. Because I assume that we all already have enough of that in our own home, so I'm not going to add to the chaos. But here's the truth. Meal prep does not need to be complicated. Believe me, you do not need the fancy gadgets, and you don't need to be prepping 5 meals a day for 7 days a week. So for this week's meal prep video, I wanted to keep things super simple, very basic. Every meal has fewer than 8 ingredients, 8. Simple, though, does not mean boring, because I don't like bland food. These meals may be simple, but they're still super delicious, satisfying, packed with protein, because sometimes the easiest meals are actually the ones that we turn to repeat week after week, and that's what I want to provide for you, is just simple, easy, healthy meals. So with that in mind, let's get started. For these breakfast burritos that are super simple, you're going to need some spinach, eggs, egg whites, cheese, tortillas, and cottage cheese. My little one wanted to get involved with this recipe, so that is why you will see little hands. But I guess, this is easy enough for a toddler to do. You essentially blend all of the egg mixture together, which makes it really easy because we're just going to bake it in a sheet pan. I find that this is the easiest way to do like a big batch of, honestly, egg anything, either this or a muffin tin. But for the burritos, it's really easy to be able to cut the eggs into like rectangles to place inside the tortilla. You can customize this however you'd like. I chose to add 6 eggs and then some cottage cheese and egg whites. Cottage cheese adds more protein, and you can add cornstarch here if you want to lighten up the texture, but I, to be honest, completely forgot. And we oversalted these because said toddler was helping out, but you know what? I love when he's in the kitchen, so no complaints here. I think a recipe like this is perfect if you don't really know where to start with meal prep because 1, it's pretty simple to make, 2, it's easy to customize based on your needs, and 3, you're not over the stove for very long, if at all, because you put these in the oven. And then the most complicated part is just assembling your burrito. Honestly, is not that complicated and doesn't take a lot of time if you have everything. I find if you have everything laid out and kind of make a little process. So yeah, again, this takes under 8 ingredients. You can just focus on breakfast for the week if you are still, worried about like, where do I get started? How do I get started? Let's just focus on breakfast if it feels overwhelming. So I typically add these chicken sausages to almost every egg meal prep that I do just because the macros are so great and we love the taste. You get them at Costco, and so you have a ton of them. But feel free to use whatever added protein you'd like. Some bacon would be great in here, or some cooked ham, or nothing. You can make it completely vegetarian and just add a bunch of other veggies. But just wanted to mention again, this is customizable. Don't feel like you need to do it exactly how it is here, although the macros that I've included, which are also in the meal prep plan that I will be launching, are according to the ingredients that I'm using. One of my absolute favorite parts of this recipe is that these are super freezer friendly. I just wrap them in foil and then put them in a freezer bag, and you defrost them the night before. Stick them in the microwave for like a minute and a half, and they're great. Now, I do want to mention I did not take the extra time to toast these on a skillet before I wrapped them. Sometimes I will, make the burrito and then put them on a skillet for a little bit to get that like toasty tortilla. I just didn't have the time. So if I do have more time, I will take that extra measure, and it does make it extra delicious, but know that they're still yummy without having to toast them. You can just wrap them in the foil and put them in a freezer bag and in the freezer. Okay, for this sheet pan meal, you are going to need some chicken sausage, bell peppers, gold potatoes, onions, and Brussels sprouts. I say if you truly don't know where to start with meal prep, choose a sheet pan meal. You just use your oven, you chop up a bunch of things, and you put it on a sheet pan in the oven, and you kind of set it and forget it. Not like a crock pot, but So I love chicken sausage because, one, it's just a healthy alternative to regular, more greasy sausage, but these from Costco are great. It was actually the first time we had this flavor. We usually get a different brand, and not the Kirkland brand, but these were really great. And you just chop them up because they're already cooked, so I actually put them in later just to kind of get them a little browned. So you want to put peppers and onions and things that take a little bit longer, especially the potatoes. The potatoes are going to take the longest. And so with sheet pan meals, you literally just, you put them in the oven and just turn them if you need to, but it's relatively simple and you dress it with whatever you want afterwards. So once I put these all together, when my husband and I go to eat them, we typically top them with some sort of sauce and like a garlic sauce, or honestly sometimes nothing, like maybe some avocado. But I love this meal because it's just, again, really simple. You don't have to think a lot about it, and it doesn't take a ton of time, and it comes out really delicious. I love all the flavors, and you can, again, surprise, surprise, customize it as you wish. But everything I got here is from Costco, I think, pretty much, and makes it super simple to just shop one place, chop it all up, put it in the oven, and then you have lunch for the rest of the week. Although I think that this is a very simple meal to put together, I know that if you're brand spanking new to meal prepping, or even heck, cooking in general, it can still feel overwhelming, and I totally understand that, which is also one of the main reasons why I created the monthly meal prep plan that is going to be coming out in a couple of weeks, or really a week, June 14th. Because it takes all the guesswork out of everything. And something I've mentioned on here before is sort of my philosophy on, like recipe apps or food blogs, is that a lot of the times, although great and, very thankful for information, a lot of the sites of these bloggers is inundated with ads because, there's revenue in that, and I totally understand. But that is why I wanted to put together a meal plan that is just a PDF that has clickable links to the videos that I have of, step by step, and has all the nutritional information available if you're looking to, increase your protein or decrease carbs or increase carbs or whatever it is. I just wanted to make sure that it was like a one-stop shop. So I really hope you all find it helpful. Like I said, it will be launching on June 14th. It'll be 1 month meal prep plan, but there will be more to come. And I am really excited to share it with you. Just again, comment plan down below if you're interested, and I will send you a link to the waitlist for a special discount. So the dinner recipe has a total of 8 ingredients. We've got chicken, a sweet chili sauce, broccoli, cornstarch, regular rice, cauliflower rice, honey, and coconut milk. And although it's only 8 ingredients, it is tasty. I love this sweet chili sauce, but if you can't find it in your store, no worries. You can always kind of recreate your own with some sriracha and honey and a little bit of rice vinegar. You kind of just, I taste as I go, but if you get your hands on the sweet chili sauce or a similar version, there's a lot of just off-brand versions, which are totally fine. Get it, because it is so tasty. It is, I don't know how to, a little bit spicy, but not even, in my opinion. But this chicken recipe tastes like you're getting takeout, because the secret to this is using cornstarch to coat the chicken a little bit and kind of create a sort of breading, but not really, because I'm still trying to keep it somewhat lower carb. But it is so yummy with the sauce and the broccoli, and this is the best part, in my opinion, is the coconut milk. I love coconut rice. If you've never had coconut rice before, please do yourself a favor and just give this a try. It's so easy. It adds this like creamy texture to the rice and a lovely flavor. I mix the rice with cauliflower rice so that it is a little bit lower carb, but the coconut milk just adds all the flavors together. It's super tasty. Anyway, again, really easy. If you want to add a little bit more sweetness, you can add some honey. You will notice here I'm adding a few other things to the sweet chili sauce because I ran out of sweet chili sauce. So yeah, that's what I was saying about winging it, which is totally fine when you're getting started, not getting started. It's all just experimentation. It's not a huge deal. If you mess up, try again, taste it, just taste as you go. And especially if you're someone who gets overwhelmed about cooking or planning, prepping, etc., don't think that you got to get fancy with your veggies. Like, we're all just trying to get them in, right? So the broccoli you see here is just Costco frozen broccoli. Nothing special. But when it's, next to the coconut rice and the sauce from the sweet chili chicken, it all just comes together to create a very delicious dish, and you get your veggies in. Don't overcomplicate it. Choose whatever veggie you like. This dish would be great with even those frozen mixed veggies from Costco or from your grocery store. Just try and be as simple as possible when you're first starting out. And that's something you'll notice with my meal prep plan and just like my meal prep videos in general, is it may look a little bit, more put together at the end, but when you break it down, I use really simple ingredients because I don't know about you, I'm not the one to get 15 plus ingredients from 3 different stores to make one recipe. I don't have the time, meaning I don't want to make the time to do something like that. I can still eat really well and have a balanced meal that tastes great with simple ingredients. It doesn't need to be crazy. You don't need to be driving around town to find, some special spice. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for that in my opinion, but we're just trying to fuel ourselves for the week. This isn't necessarily it. That's what a Saturday or Sunday is for, a special meal that I want to spend a little bit more time on. So again, if you're interested in joining the waitlist to be the first to know when the meal plan is officially launched, and then to get a special discount, just comment down below PLAN and I will send you the link to do so. If you enjoyed this meal prep video, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. You'll see many more of these, and I'm so glad you're here. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you all next week.